pause for 1 second. Before you continue watching, I want you to do something small but important. Tell me in the comments, which country are you watching from? And what time is it right now? Because Allah brings people to reminders like this at very specific moments. Some of you are watching this late at night when your heart feels heavy and quiet. Some of you are watching this early in the morning, already tired before the day even begins. And that timing is not random. You didn't click this video by accident. If your life feels uncomfortable lately, if things don't feel right anymore, if your heart feels restless for no clear reason, stay with me, because by the end of this message, you will understand why Allah allowed your peace to leave before He changed your situation. Most people misunderstand this moment and fight against it, and that mistake costs them years of their life. So don't rush, don't skip. Allah may be answering you right now in a way you've never understood before. Before Allah removes something from your life, He removes the peace you felt inside it. Not all at once, not suddenly, not harshly, slowly. So slowly that one day you wake up and say, I don't know why, but this doesn't feel right anymore. Nothing big happened, no clear mistake, no obvious reason, but your heart feels different. What once gave you comfort now gives you pressure. What once made you smile now makes you tired. What once felt exciting now feels heavy on your chest. You still try to like it. You still try to hold on. You still tell yourself, maybe it's just a phase. But deep inside, something has shifted. That is not you changing for no reason. That is Allah protecting you quietly. If Allah took things away suddenly, your heart would break all at once. You would collapse under the pain. You would question everything. So Allah prepares you gently. He starts from the heart. He slowly removes the sweetness. He slowly weakens the attachment. He slowly makes your soul uncomfortable where it once rested, not to punish you, not to confuse you, but to save you from something your eyes cannot see yet. Allah knows how deeply you love. Allah knows how tightly you attach. Allah knows how much pain sudden loss would cause you. So He touches the heart first. You don't even realize it's happening. You just feel less connected, less interested, less willing to chase. And you feel guilty for feeling that way. You say, why don't I feel the same anymore? Why did my heart change? What's wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with you. Something is being corrected. Allah is teaching your heart before He changes your life. Because if the heart is not ready, the change will destroy you. So Allah slowly pulls peace away, so that when the separation happens, you don't collapse, you understand. You may still feel sad, you may still feel loss, but you will not feel broken. This is mercy. Sometimes Allah doesn't remove the thing. He removes you from it emotionally first, so that when it ends, you don't chase it back, so that when it leaves, you don't beg for its return. You just quietly accept. And acceptance is strength. Allah does not always speak through words. Sometimes He speaks through feelings. When peace leaves a place, Allah is speaking. When your heart no longer rests somewhere, Allah is guiding you. When something that once felt perfect now feels draining, Allah is protecting you from a future pain. You may not understand it now, but Allah sees where this path was leading. He sees the nights you would cry later. He sees the way it would slowly weaken your Iman. He sees how it would distract you from who you were meant to become. So He intervenes early, quietly, gently, without noise, without drama. And because it is silent, you think it is confusion. But it is not confusion. It is guidance without explanation. Allah does not always explain himself. If he explained everything, there would be no trust. If he showed you the ending, there would be no surrender. So he asks you to feel your way out. He lets your heart grow uncomfortable, so you don't settle where you were never meant to stay. And the hardest part is this: sometimes what Allah removes peace from is not something sinful. It might be something halal. It might be something good. It might be something that once helped you. But not everything that is good for you forever. Some things are only meant for a season, and when the season ends, Allah gently closes the heart. You feel it when you pray. You feel it when you sit alone. You feel it in the silence of the night. Something feels off. That off feeling is not random. It is Allah saying, "This chapter has served its purpose." And because Allah is gentle, he doesn't rip the page out. He loosens it slowly, so your heart doesn't bleed when it turns. You may still resist. You may still ask Allah to bring the old feeling back. But sometimes the loss of peace is the answer. Allah removes peace, so you don't destroy yourself trying to stay. Allah removes comfort, so you don't delay your growth. Allah removes attachment, so you don't lose your direction. And one day, later, when you are standing somewhere safer, stronger, closer to him, you will understand why your heart changed first. You will realize that Allah was never taking something away from you. He was leading you away from harm. When Allah begins to redirect you, clarity is not the first thing he gives. Confusion comes first. Suddenly, nothing feels stable. The future you were sure about feels blurry. Plans you were confident in no longer excite you. Decisions that once felt easy now feel heavy. You wake up with questions you didn't have before. You pray, but answers don't come the way you expect. You move forward, but it feels like you're walking in fog. And you start to panic. You think, why don't I know what to do anymore? Why does everything feel uncertain? Why did Allah remove my clarity? But Allah did not remove guidance. He removed control. Because as long as you felt sure, you were relying on yourself, your plans, your timing, your understanding. So Allah gently took certainty away to teach your heart something deeper, that you were never meant to walk this path alone. Confusion is not a sign that Allah has left you. It is a sign that Allah is moving you. When Allah wants to take you somewhere new, He first disconnects you from the old direction. And that disconnection feels uncomfortable. Your mind wants answers. Your heart wants reassurance. Your nafs wants stability, but Allah wants trust. If everything made sense, you would not need tawakkul. If the road was clear, you would not need to hold Allah's hand. So Allah allows confusion, so your heart learns dependence. Not on people, not on plans, not on outcomes, but on Him. Many people mistake confusion for failure. They think, I must be doing something wrong. But sometimes confusion appears because you are doing something right. You have outgrown your old direction, but you haven't reached the new one yet. So there is a gap, and gaps feel scary. This is the moment where faith is tested quietly, not by hardship, but by uncertainty. You don't know what's next. You don't know how it will work out. You don't even know what to pray for clearly. So you just say, Ya Allah, you know. And that sentence alone is an act of worship. Allah loves when His servant admits, I don't know. because that is when Allah says, I do. Confusion humbles the heart. It removes arrogance you didn't know you had. It removes the illusion of control. It strips you of false confidence. And in that emptiness, Allah plants reliance. You begin to pray differently, not for specific outcomes, but for guidance. Not for control, but for peace. You stop demanding answers. You start asking for strength. And slowly, without you realizing, your heart becomes softer. Your trust becomes deeper. You learn how to move without seeing the full road. And that is a skill Allah only teaches to those He loves deeply. Because where He is taking you, clarity will come later. First, He wants your heart fully surrendered. This confusion will not last forever. Allah is not cruel, but He will not rush clarity. If confusion is still teaching you something, sometimes Allah delays answers because the lesson is not finished. And when clarity finally comes, it comes suddenly. One day things click. One day your heart settles. One day you understand why nothing made sense before, and you realize the confusion was shaping you, teaching you patience, teaching you trust, teaching you how to move forward without needing guarantees. If you are confused right now, don't rush to escape it. Don't force decisions. Don't panic. Sit with Allah in it. Because confusion is not a dead end. It is a turning point. Allah is gently turning you away from what you thought you wanted toward what you actually need. And when the fog lifts, you will walk forward stronger, calmer, and closer to Allah than ever before. Sometimes Allah does not close doors loudly. There is no argument, no explosion, no moment where everything crashes. Things just fade. A message stops coming. An opportunity slowly disappears. A connection weakens without a clear reason. And at first, you don't even realize what is happening. You just feel a small distance growing, a quiet pause, a silence that wasn't there before. This is not neglect. This is mercy. Allah is gentle with the hearts He loves. If a door needed to close, but closing it loudly would have humiliated you, Allah chooses silence instead. He lets it end softly, so your dignity stays intact. Some doors, if they stayed open longer, would have made you beg, would have lowered your self-respect, would have pulled you into places where your worth would slowly be forgotten. So Allah intervenes before that happens. He does not embarrass you. He does not expose you. He does not let the world see you struggling. He simply makes the door stop responding. And you think, why did this end without explanation? Why didn't it work out? Why did things just disappear? Because Allah loves your dignity more than your desires. He will never let you chase what was never meant to choose you. He will never let you remain where your presence is not valued. So He closes the door quietly, without drama, without public failure, without breaking you. And sometimes, because it is quiet, you think you imagined it. You wonder if you should knock again, try again, lower yourself a little more. But Allah is saying, don't. Walk away with your head high. Silence is sometimes Allah's protection. If Allah allowed things to explode, you would carry shame. You would replay the moment in your mind. You would feel exposed. So He chooses a softer ending. Because endings don't need noise. To be real, Allah knows which doors would have taken more from you than they ever gave back. Doors that would have drained your energy, your time, your iman. Doors that looked promising but hid long-term harm. So he removes access. And at first, it hurts. Not because the door was good, but because rejection always stings. Even when Allah is the one closing it. You feel confused. You feel unwanted. You feel like you weren't enough. But that thought is a lie. Allah did not close the door because you lacked value. He closed it because you had too much value to stay there. If a place requires you to shrink, Allah will remove you. If a situation requires you to beg, Allah will block it. If something slowly damages your self-respect, Allah will end it early, because Allah protects His servants from humiliation they don't see coming. Later, when you look back, you will realize something important. If that door had stayed open, you would have lost yourself trying to keep it open. You would have accepted less. You would have ignored your intuition. You would have compromised parts of your soul. So Allah ended it quietly, not to hurt you, but to save you from becoming someone you were never meant to be. Sometimes the quiet ending is Allah saying, I spared you. And one day, when you walk into a place where your presence is welcomed, where your worth is recognized, where your dignity is protected, you will understand why Allah didn't let you stay there longer, and you will thank Him for the doors that closed without noise, because silence kept your honor safe. When Allah redirects you, He often removes the crowd first, not because people are bad, not because you did something wrong, but because growth needs space. One day you notice fewer messages, fewer calls, fewer people checking in. The noise fades. The gatherings feel empty. The conversations no longer reach your heart. And you start asking yourself, why am I alone? Why do I feel unseen? Why does it feel like I don't belong anymore? This is not rejection. This is preparation. Allah knows that before He strengthens you, He must quiet the world around you. Because when voices are loud, you cannot hear guidance. So, Allah creates silence. He gently steps people aside. He changes routines. He slows your social world down, not to isolate you forever, but to realign you. There are stages in life where too many opinions confuse the heart. Too much advice clouds the mind. Too much noise weakens focus. So Allah gives you space. You may call it loneliness, but Allah calls it protection. He is protecting your heart from comparison, from distraction, from emotional dependency. In the quiet, you begin to notice things. Your thoughts become clearer. Your prayers become deeper. Your relationship with Allah becomes more honest. You stop performing for people because there is no one to perform for. You stop explaining yourself because there is no one demanding answers. You just exist with Allah. And at first, this feels uncomfortable because you were used to being surrounded, used to validation, used to constant connection. Silence exposes the parts of you that were hidden by noise. But this is where healing begins. Allah often isolates His servants when He is about to raise them internally, because strength is built alone. Clarity is found alone. Direction becomes clear when there are fewer voices pulling you. This isolation is not permanent. It is seasonal. Allah is teaching you how to stand without leaning on people, how to find comfort in His presence, how to feel complete without constant company. And when you learn that, you become unshakable. There is another reason Allah removes people. Some people cannot go where Allah is taking you, not because they are bad, but because they are not meant for that next chapter. So Allah creates distance gently. He doesn't create fights. He doesn't force endings. He allows natural separation. So when you walk forward, you don't carry bitterness. You just carry understanding. Where Allah is taking you, you need a clear heart. Not attachments that pull you backward. Not relationships that keep you small. So Allah clears the path. The silence you feel at night, the quiet mornings, the feeling of walking alone, these are not signs of abandonment. These are signs of refinement. Allah is shaping you in private before He allows anything public. Isolation is the space where Allah speaks the loudest. And if you listen carefully, you will hear guidance in the quiet. You will feel strength growing without noise. You will realize that you are not alone at all. Allah is with you, and that is enough. Sometimes Allah redirects you not because something is bad, but because it is quietly pulling you away from Him. On the outside, everything looks fine. It looks successful. It looks promising. It looks like progress. But on the inside, something feels off. Your prayers feel rushed. Your heart feels distracted. Your connection with Allah feels weaker. You still believe. You still remember Allah. But the closeness is fading, and you don't even notice it at first. This is the most dangerous kind of loss, when Iman weakens slowly. So Allah steps in, not with punishment, not with anger, but with protection. He blocks momentum. He slows things down. He places obstacles where there were none before. You try harder, but it doesn't move. You push, but it doesn't open. And you feel frustrated. You ask, why is Allah making this difficult? Why can't I move forward? Why is everything stuck? But Allah is not stopping you from success. He is stopping you from a future where your heart would drift too far. Some paths give you dunya, but take your peace with Allah. Some achievements fill your hands, but empty your heart. Allah sees that future clearly, so He redirects you early. He knows that if He lets you continue, you will become busy, then distant, then spiritually tired. So He removes ease, not because He wants you to suffer, but because He wants to keep you close. Allah values your akhirah more than your temporary comfort, and anything that slowly pulls you away from Him will never be allowed to fully succeed. You may feel like Allah is limiting you, but Allah is saving you from becoming someone who forgets Him. Sometimes Allah takes away motivation for things that once excited you. You no longer feel the drive. You no longer feel the hunger. You no longer feel the attachment. And you feel confused. But this is guidance. Allah is teaching you that not everything worth chasing is worth keeping. He is reminding you that success without Iman is not success at all. So He places a pause. So you look up again. So you remember Him again. So you return to sujood with sincerity. This redirection hurts, because the world praises what Allah blocks. People tell you, you're missing out. You could have gone far. You should try harder. But Allah is saying, I am protecting you from a loss you cannot see. One day, you will understand. You will look back and realize that had Allah not stopped you, you would have gained the world and lost yourself. Allah never blocks a sincere servant, except to guard their akhirah. So, if your progress feels delayed, if your path feels restricted, if things that once moved easily now resist you, check your heart, not with fear, but with honesty. Allah is not pushing you away. He is pulling you closer. And any path that costs you closeness with Allah is not a path meant to continue. This redirection is mercy, even if it doesn't feel like it now. Allah does not explain everything while you are still walking. Understanding does not come at the beginning. It does not come in the middle. It comes after you arrive. This is why the redirection hurts so much at first. You are asked to let go before you understand why. You are asked to trust before you see the outcome. You are asked to move forward without knowing where the road ends. And that feels unfair. You want answers now. You want clarity now. You want reassurance now. But Allah knows that if He explained everything early, you would rely on the explanation, not on Him. So He keeps some wisdom hidden, not to confuse you, but to grow your faith. You walk away from things without knowing what will replace them. You lose what felt familiar without seeing what is coming next. And you feel empty. But emptiness is not the end. It is space. Space for Allah to place something new, something safer, something more aligned with who you are becoming. Allah often removes you from situations before you are harmed by them. But He does not show you the harm immediately, because some truths are too heavy to carry before you are ready. So He lets you feel the loss first. And later, much later, He lets you understand the protection. One day, you wake up in a life you never imagined asking for. You have peace you didn't chase, stability you didn't plan, closeness to Allah you didn't know you were missing. And suddenly, the past makes sense. You realize why that door had to close, why that path could not continue, why that attachment had to break. You see clearly now what Allah saw back then. And you say quietly, Ya Allah, if you had given me what I wanted, I would not be here today. This realization does not come with regret. It comes with gratitude, because now you see that Allah was guiding you, even when you felt lost. He was carrying you, even when you felt alone. He was protecting you, even when it felt like loss. Allah never rushes understanding. He waits until your heart is strong enough to hold it. If He revealed the wisdom too early, you would not grow. So He lets life teach you. He lets time reveal truth. And when understanding finally arrives, it does not arrive loudly. It arrives calmly, like peace settling in your chest, like certainty without explanation, like knowing without needing proof. You no longer question the past. You no longer chase what left. You no longer ask, what if? Because your heart is at rest. This is the destination of redirection, not success, not achievement, but peace. The kind of peace that comes from knowing Allah was always guiding you. So, if you are still confused today, if you are still hurting, if you are still asking, why? Be patient. Understanding is coming, not on your schedule, but on Allah's. And when it arrives, you will not wish things had gone differently. You will thank Allah for every closed door, every delay, every silent redirection, because you will see clearly then, Allah did not take you away from something good. He led you towards something better, and He always knew exactly where He was taking you. If you stayed until this moment, it wasn't by accident. Allah knew you needed this reminder. Now, everything you've been feeling lately, the confusion, the distance, the quiet discomfort in your heart, it was never a sign that you were losing your way. It was a sign that Allah was moving you gently. He removed peace before He removed the situation. He loosened your heart before He closed the door. He created distance before the damage could reach you. And now you understand why. What felt like loss was actually protection. What felt like delay was preparation. What felt like confusion was guidance in disguise. Allah never redirects a sincere heart without planning something safer ahead. So don't chase what no longer feels right. Don't beg for doors Allah closed quietly. Don't doubt yourself for changing. Your heart didn't weaken, it woke up. And if tonight you still feel uncertain, say this quietly: Ya Allah, I trust you, even when I don't understand. That trust alone is enough. If this message reached your heart, leave a comment with Ameen and tell me which country you're watching from. Not for the algorithm, but so we can make dua for one another. Remember this: Allah didn't take you away from something good. He led you away from harm. And He always knows exactly where He's taking you. Stay patient. Stay close to Allah. Your redirection will make sense soon.